So the inverse proportion, relation between two quantities, one increase and the other decrease by the same ratio. So if the first quantity multiplied by 2, the second divide by 2. Okay? To study the inverse proportion, we can take this example. If the distance between two sets is, for example, 120 kilometers. 120 kilometers. And now you have your car. And if your speed is too fast, 120 kilometers per hour, and you need to find the time. How to find the time? We have rule to find the time. If you move with constant speed, time equal speed, distance over speed. Distance over speed. So now the distance is constant, 120. 120. The distance is 120 kilometers. Now if your speed 120, so to find the time, 120 divide 120, so you need 1 hour to cover this distance. Understood? Now if your speed 60, now put 60, so 120 divided by 60, so you need 2 hours. If your speed 40, 120 divide 40, 3 hours. If your speed 30, 120 divided by 30,
4 hours.
if the speed 20, 6 hours. If the speed 10, 12 hours. So, to study the relation between speed and time, if the distance constant, this inverse proportion. Because, look, if you divide the speed by 2, we multiply the time by 2. Divide the speed by 3, we multiply the time by 3. Divide the speed by 4, multiply the time by 4, and so on. And if you multiply the speed by time, you get the same value. 120 times 1, 120. 60 times 2, 40 multiplied 3, 30 times 4, and so on. So if we have two quantities in inverse proportion, the product is always constant. Okay? So if y and x inverse in inverse proportion, so x times y is constant number. Okay? Now it's time to practice. Number 1, Taleen, read number 1.
A train is traveling the distance of 600 kilometers. How long does the train take if it travels at 100 kilometers per hour?
Okay. Now you have the distance and you have the average speed. So how to find the time? Yes, divide. To find the time, divide. Distance over speed. So 600 divide 100. So yes, so 6 hours. Now for B. Copy and complete the table. So we need to complete this table. Now the distance is 600 kilometers. If the speed is 100, so we need 6 hours. Now if the speed 150, can you find the time? Can you find the time?
4.
600 divide 150,
4.
so 4. Now if you have the time, and you need to find the speed, so distance over time. So 600 divide 5, 120. So 120. We divide the distance by the time to find the speed. Remember this triangle, guys. Listen. This distance and this speed and time. So if we need distance, speed into time. If we need time, distance over speed. If we need speed, distance over time. Okay? So now if the time is 3 hours, how to find the speed? Distance over time. So 600 divided 3 equals 200. Now the last one in the table. 600 divided by 300. So we need 2 hours. Raneem told me that, can we do that with a cross multiply? No. Cross multiply for direct proportion. For inverse proportion, we have line multiply. What does it mean, line multiply? So to find this number, for example, to find this number, how to find this number? we need line multiplication, not cross multiplication. Cross multiplication, before you multiply 100 times 4, divide, okay? This is cross multiply. You need multiply this number by that number, then divide by that to find, okay? To find this value. But for line multiply if you need to find this value, okay? If you need to find this value, multiply 100 by 6, then divide by 150. This is called line multiply. So multiply the same column, then divide by this value. So 100 multiplied by 6, 600. 600 divided by 150, 4. If I need to find this value, multiply 150 times 4, then divide by 5, you get 120. Same, if I need this value, 120 times 5, divide 3. If I need this value, 200, multiply 3, divide by 300, equal 2. This is called line multiply, not a cross multiply. Okay? Now we need to write the formula between x and y. X is the speed and y is the time. So what is the relation between x and y? What is the relation between x and y?
That's x kilometer per hour.
I need the relation between the equation. Equation related them. Guys, listen. 100 multiplied by 6. 150 times 4.
X, y is 100.
120 times 5.
600.
200 multiplied 3.
600.
300 times 2. So the relation between x and y, if you multiply x by y, you get 600. So the equation x, y equals 600. So, not kilometer. Okay, I need no need, but x times y equals 600. Okay, so in inverse proportion the product is constant, but for direct to proportion the ratio is constant. When we divide we get the same number, but here when we multiply you get the same number. Okay, later we compare between direct and the inverse, but now for inverse proportion the product is constant. If you multiply x and y, you get the same number. Okay? Now draw a pair of axes like that, like this. Plot the points from the table in part B and join them with a smooth curve. Okay? For the first point, 106. 106. The speed 100, x equals 6, x equals 100 and y equals 6. So this 100, this 106. This is the point. Now plot the point. Can you draw this in your notebook? Draw the axis. Draw the axis. You can do that. It takes time, but you can do that. This is the first point. So x-axis, for x-axis, your step 0, 20, 40, 60, okay, till 300. For y-axis, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, till 8. Now plot the points. 106. This 106. 150 and 4. 150. 150 between 140 and 160. And 4. So this 150. Yes. 120 and 5. 120. We have 120. 120 and 5. This 120 and 5. 120 and 5. 203. 203. 203. 302. The last point. 302. 302. Now join them with a smooth curve. Now inverse proportion represented by curve, not by line like direct proportion. Of course, to join the points, of course not, because this curve, not line. Direct proportion represented by straight line, but inverse proportion represented by a curve. Okay, so join the point like that. For number 2, a teacher has $1,000 to spend on books. Some books cost 10 pound each. How many can teacher buy?
100.
So you need to divide. 1,000 divided by 10 equals 100. 100 books. Now for B. Other books cost 5 pound each. How many can the teacher buy? So 1,000 divided by 5?
200.
So 200. Now we need to complete the table. The cost of the book and the number both. So if the cost of the book 2,
500.
so 1,000 divided by 2, so 500. If the cost 4, if the cost 5, if the cost 10, 20,
40.
okay. Now show that X and R inversely proportional. Guys, because inversely proportion if the product is constant. If the product is constant. 2 times 500, 1,000. 4 times 250, 1,000. Okay. So because X multiply Y always 1,000. Or you can say that, listen, here 8, you can say that if we multiply X by 2, we divide Y by 2. If we multiply X by 5, we divide X by 5. So this inverse proportion. If we multiply the first quantity by 2, we divide the second one by 2. Now write the formula connecting X and Y. The product is constant. Okay, if the product is constant, so this inverse proportion. Write down a formula of connecting X and Y. X times Y equal? Okay. Now for F, draw a pair of axes like that. Then draw the graph to show the information in the table. After you draw the axis, 2 and 500, plot the points, 2 and 500. So 2, if you have 5 lines between 0 and 5, so take 2 lines. So 2 and 500, this 2 and 500. This 2 and 500. Next point, 4 and 250. 4 and 250. 5 and 200. 5 and 200. 10 and 100. 20 and 50. 25 and 40. Now if you join them, you have a smooth curve like that. Number 3. Mayar, can you read number 3?
The graph shows the time taken by an airplane to travel between two airports at different speeds. Use the graph to find the speed when the journey takes 5 hours.
Okay, we have the time and we have the speed. We need to find the speed when the time 5. So from your graph, time 5, listen, time 5. So draw horizontal line from 5 till you reach the curve. Okay. If you did that, draw with pencil. Then find the corresponding speed is 800. So 800 kilometers per hour. Understood for A? Now B, go ahead, Mayar.
The time, y hours, is inversely proportional to the speed.
Work out.
Work out a formula connecting x and y.
Okay. So y inversely proportional to x. We need to find the relation between y and x. We need to write the formula connecting y and x. We agree that if we have inverse proportion between y and x, so the product is constant. The product is constant. Can you find the product now?
Y equal 4,000.
Because if you multiply 5 by 800,
4,000.
4,000. Okay? And you, if you choose different values, you get the same answer. For example, for this 8 and 500. If you multiply 8 by 500, you get 4,000. Okay? So the relation between them, y times x equal 4,000. Or x times y equal 4,000. Same. Use your formula to find the time taken when the plane travels at 500 kilometers per hour.
8 hours.
Oh, we did that.
4,000 divided by
Yes, because now the speed is 500. We need to find the time.
divided by 5.
So we need to find y. So y times 500. I know. Y times 500 equals 4,000. So y equal 4,000 divided
8 hours.
by 500
8 hours.
equals 8 hours. This is the answer for C.
This is question 2, right?
Yes, this is question 3. Number 4. Lama, can you read?
Some children are measuring the length of their
Bases.
bases.
And how many bases?
How many bases they take to walk 10 meters?
100.
100 meters.
Yes, A. Read A.
The length of a piece is 0.5%
The length of a piece is 0.5 meters.
meter.
How many bases?
How many bases will they take to walk 100 meters?
Yes. Can you solve A?
Yes.
How many 0.5 included in 100? So to find the number, divide. 100 divided by 0.5 equals 200. So 200 bases. Okay. Now for B, complete this table and fill in the measuring values. So if the length of base 0.5, we need to find the number. 0.6, we need to find the number. Okay. For 0.5, we did, which is 200. For 0.6,
167.
167. 167. For 0.7, you need to divide 200 by the length of the base to find the number of bases. So 200 divided 0.7, 100 divided 0.7 equal what?
142.9.
100?
142.9.
142. Okay, round down. 142.9? 143. Divide by 0.8.
125.
125. Divide by 0.9.
111.
111.
By 1.
110. 100.
Okay.
99.9.
So 100. Okay. Show that B and N are inversely proportional.
Oh, we do that. لا, you multiply.
How to prove that they are inversely proportional? The product constant. If you multiply B by N, you get 100. Okay? So, when we multiply B times N, we get same number, which is 100. Write down a formula connecting B and N. So C and D, same answer. Same answer. So B N equals 100. Yes, read Italy.
Low
Yes.
130 paces to walk 100 meters. How long is lowest pace?
Okay. So what we need to do? 100 divide by 130 equals 0.
8 or 0.76.
0.76. Okay. So 0.77. 0.77. Okay. Number 5. Harris, can you read number 5?
Isosceles triangle has an area of 100 centimeters squared.
So the area for this triangle 100.
The
Okay.
length of the base b centimeters is inversely proportional to the length h centimeters. When the base is 20 centimeters, then the height is 10 centimeters. Write down a formula connecting b and h.
Okay. So they are in inversely proportion. We have base and height. The area 100, always 100. So what is the relation between b and h? Yes, half times base times height equals 100. Or base times height divided by 2 equals 100.
200.
100. Base times height divide by 2. Okay? So you can write, because area of triangle equal what? Half times base times height. Or base times height divide by 2. Okay? So you can write the answer for A. You can write half times base times height equals 100. Or you can write base times height over 2 equals 100. Or you can write base times height equals 200. Because if you cross multiply by 2, you get base times height equal 200. Any one of them correct. Okay? This is the answer for A, understood?
Yes.
Because the area always 100. Now for B, copy and complete the table to show the possible values of B and H. Now you have the base, we need to find the height.
10.
Wait. For area of triangle, you know that the area equals half
Base height.
base height. Okay? What about if I need base or height? If I need base or height?
Divide, like, we put...
If I need base, I need base as a subject. Am I right? I need base as a subject. So multiply by 2 first, then divide by height. You have this in CA before. So area times 2, okay? Then divide by height to find the base. Okay? If I need the height, area times 2,
Base.
divide by base. Okay? So base equal area times 2, divide height. Height area times 2, divide base. So remember this rule. So now, area is 100. Area is 100. For this triangle, area equals 100. Now to find the height, area times 200 times 2.
200.
Yes, which is 200. Yes, because area is 200. So now if I need to find the height, so 100 times 2, which is 200, divide by 10. 200 divide by 10, so 20. Now same. 200 divide 15.
13.3. The answer is 13.3.
To one decimal place. One. Yes. Now for 25.
8.
200 divide by 25.
8.
For 30.
6.7 or 7.
To one decimal place. 6.7. 200 divide 35.
5.7.
5.7. So, if I need the base, area times 2 divide height. If I need the height, area times 2 divide base. Okay?
Sir, how is 25
200 divide 25. Okay? Sorry? 5.7. Yes, the last one. Okay. Done with B. Now see, draw a graph to show how the height varies with the base. Yes. You don't need to draw. I'll explain how to draw, but you don't need to draw, okay? So this is the base. And the height. We have the base start from 10 till 35, so we can say that yes, 0, 10, 20, 30, 40, okay? For the height, we have till 20, so 0, 5, 10, 15, 20, okay? Now for the first point, 10, 20, so 10, 20, base equal 10, height equal 20, so this is the first point. Next point, 15, 13.3, 15.13. So this 15, 13.3, approximately there. This is not accurate, but
So if
yes.
you have to do something like this, does it have to be accurate?
Yes, it's better, but because you don't have
The square.
graph paper,
I have
yes, this is not a graph paper, this is square paper. Okay, but the majority you don't have. So I'll explain how to do. Okay, the third point 20. The third point 2010. 2010. So 2010. This is 2010.
So how do you do that? 15. 15 on how do you do it?
Next one 25.8. 25.8. Like that. This is not accurate, but I'll just explain how to do. Thirty-six point seven, so 36.7. Thirty-five, 5.7. 35, 5.7. This is how to draw. Then join them with a smooth curve.
Excuse me, sir.
Yes.
How is it 5.7 and it's below 5?
I told you this is not accurate because we don't have a graph paper now. Okay? So this is not accurate. This is how to do. Listen, for D, work out the base when the height is 4.
200 divided by 2?
Yes. So the answer for D, 200 area times 2, which is 100 times 2. Then divide by the height, which is 4. Equals? 25. 100 times 2, 200. 200 divide 4 equal 50. So 50 centimeters. Now for E, work out the base when the base and the height are the same height. Who can solve E? Okay? Who can solve E? Listen, for E, work out the base when the base and the height are the same length. If they have the same length, we can consider that the base x, so the height x. Am I right? So to find the base, or to find the height, area times 2, so 200, divide the base, which is x, equals the height, which is also x. Okay? Now how to find x? Cross multiply, so x times x equal x squared. So x squared equals 200. Then square root for both to find x. So x equals square root 200 equals 14.1 to 1 significant, right? So 14.4. I know. I need to explain how to do that. Okay? So area times 2, which is 200, divide base equal height. But if base equal height, so the same number, so you can write x here and x there. So now how to find x? Cross multiply. So 200 equal x squared. So square root of 200 equals x. So x equal 14.4. Area times 2. Area 100. Area times 2. Okay, how to find the base or the height? Area times 2 divide height. Area 100. 100 times 2, 200. So 200 divide height equal base. But now base equal height. So x and x. Okay, how to find x? Cross multiply. X squared is 200. Then x equals square root 200. One extra mark for Atif. Good job, Atif. Number 6, Renat, can you read?
Some families want to buy food equipment for their local farm.
Speak up loudly.
For their local farm. The total cost is 45,000 pounds. Families agree to share the cost between them equally. The cost for each family will depend on how many families take what.
Go ahead, Renat.
45,000 divided by 10.
Copy and complete this table of the values. Okay. So the total cost is 45,000. Okay. If the number of families 10, how to find the cost of each? Yes, 45,000 divided by 10. So 4,500. 4,500. Number of families 20. So what is the cost for each? Divide 45,000 by 20. What is the answer? 2,250. Okay. If 30, Tell Muhammad. 1,500. For 40 families? Okay. For 5, for 50, 900. Okay. Work out a formula connecting N and C. Justify your answer. Yes. N times C equals 45,000. N times C equals 45,000. Because if you multiply the number of families by the cost of each, you get 45,000. So N times C is 45,000. Okay? No need for C. Now for D. Listen for D. They decide that each family shouldn't pay more than 800 pounds. Use your formula to work out the smallest number of families. The smallest number of families. To find the number of families, you have to divide 45,000 divide by 800. What is the answer exactly first?
56.25.
56.25. Sorry. Okay. 56.25. So what is the smallest number?
57.
Because the total cost 45,000. If we consider 56 is not enough for 45,000, okay? So round up. So 57. Because 56, if you took the number 56 and multiply by 800, the total cost will be less than 45,000. Okay? So 57, the least number of families, 57. Because I need the minimum 45,000. Okay? I need minimum 45,000. Because the cost 45,000. So 57.
900, so 57.
So 57.
So